Welcome back to Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. It's our second semifinal at the Wide World of Sports. This time it's the 18th ranked Florida Gators taking on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. The winner of this one heads to the title game of this ESPN Events Invitational.
Both of these guys, man, Steve Forbes and Todd Golden both have one thing in common. They are real guys. They are the same way, no matter where you've seen them, whether it's been East Tennessee State, San Fran, Wake Forest, Florida. These guys are real, and so are their teams.
Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Same to you.
This is our second of the day. We've got 4 games in this building. The winner of this one goes to the ESPN Events title game to face Wichita State tomorrow at 3:30. Alec, this is Steve Forbes' starting 5. Salas leads the way in terms of scoring. Devin Cosby, he can heat up from the three-point line really at any moment. And that moment, it doesn't only highlight and feature Clayton, Elijah Martin.
There's a huge size difference in the Florida Gators
on the SEC preseason team after
with those 3 guards and the bigs. They really fit together well. If I'm Wake Forest, I want to establish something inside. Show the Florida Gators that we can get to the paint and score at point-blank range.
This is Cam Hildreth, the 3-year starter. Can't hit the fall away. Offensive rebound. Spillers got it to go.
The Spillers, I call it the Energizer Bunny. Outstanding motor.
Walter.
That he stays in this basketball game.
Clayton's got it. Looking to improvise. Over to Condon. Bluffs the 3. Had Spillers in the air. Starts to attack. Condon nearly gave it away. Lost it. Hildreth has it. Wake Forest on the move. Cosby drives baseline. Spillers has got a pair of baskets at the rim. This is Hunter Salas. Wake Forest with a win against Detroit on Saturday. They led by double digits for much of the game, scored 67, but Salas had almost half of those points. He knocks down the triple here in the ACC for 2 years now.
Well, every time Steve Forbes seems to get a transfer, they end up on an all-ACC team, and Hunter Salas no different.
Pretty good track record, so Condon is going to the line.
He's like this in the non-conference play. They've already had a season, and that's what they're trying to find right now with Hunter Salas playing at that point guard position.
So Denzel Aberdeen tracks down that tap out all the way in the backcourt. Thomas Houck is on the floor. Aberdeen is their 6th-man guard off the bench. Can't hit the off-balance jumper. Spillers lost the hand. These starters off that 21-win team a year ago. One of them you mentioned, Boopy Miller, their point guard, and then Andrew Carr, transferred to Kentucky. So Hunter Salas, he'll handle the ball at times. Oh, Hildreth, the veteran, picks that pass off. Hildreth taking it in, goes up with the left. That's a strong move. Florida quickly back into the front court. It likes to push the pace and get transition opportunities whenever it can. Clayton, the backdoor cut, couldn't. A courageous take to the basket there. Wake Forest with 4 to shoot. Fredrickson gets Clayton up in the air. Front rims that triple, tapped back in. And it's the freshman,
Harris, to be wide open and attack that rebounding lane.
Elijah Martin lays it up and in. So he was able to keep that knee.
2 outstanding matchups as we have here. And right now, Kevin, it looks like the Gators are trying to go a little bit smaller than they usually do. We talked about the
6 of 11 from the floor. They've done a good job to in just his 4th college game. Texas, the junior, has got some skill underneath. Out to Klavjar, and Slovenian misfires. Houck was battling with Spillers on the base.
10 wins or 10 wins to 25 wins without players. He understands that players win games.
The old adage, yeah, coach only as good as his players, but they do have a strong rotation here. Denzel Aberdeen getting some early run here in the first. A quick seat after playing just the first couple of minutes, and Aberdeen's got his first bucket.
Really like Denzel Aberdeen, 6'5", 190 pounds. Remember last year in the SEC tournament, he had 20 points against A&M as Efton Reed finishes on.
High expectations and optimism abound for Wake. That happens when you bring back this guy. Helk smothers Salas, but he's whistled for a foul. Such a unique one. Former ESPN 131-point performance on Saturday. So of our two semifinal battles today, Wake Forest out of the ACC and the 18th-ranked Gators out of the SEC. They meet for the second year in a row. Last year, Wake got him in the challenge game. Chinyelu to the rim, and Martin found him cutting.
They sit down defensively and get stops.
So far, Wake has hit 7 of its first 13. Cosby lines one up, misfires that time. The tough fifth-year senior Martin coming back the other way, high off the glass. That's good. And then Clayton over to Richard, passes up the 3. Will Richard draws the foul.
There you
so
go.
The seniors headed to the line.
Yep, and that's what I think can. Yeah, they are really showing how the college game.
Wake Forest defense maybe in this first half.
Solid. Right now, the Gators just can't figure it out. They're trying to figure out how to attack. They've got a plethora of weapons. This is the best way to attack in transition.
Richard started it with the knock
Yes,
away. Will Richard, a hammer. Some of their points have come in transition here. We've got a 2-point game in our second semifinal. The winner faces Wichita State tomorrow.
Nice.
Hildreth, great ball fake. And he always has his eyes up in transition. His man goes flying, so numbers, if they swing it, not fast enough. Richard wants 3. Yes.
Yeah, if you're going to get past it, and they're as deep as you'll find in the SEC, because Denzel Aberdeen comes in and there's no drop-off with him as well.
Well, that trio of guards you mentioned, they've got 13 of Florida's 21. Richard has been relentless on the defensive side. He spins to the rim. Got it! Will Richard. So Wake Forest has to respond now because Florida has just gone on a 12-2 run. That answered the 7-1 Wake run. Foul on the floor.
The nice victory because of that 3-point shot. I asked the assistant coach B.J. Mackey yesterday how they're trying to figure that out, because
he has 1 of the 2 they've hit. Now they're 2 of 12.
pace is going to be critical in this basketball game. Whichever team can get up and get out quicker before the defense sets up.
Clayton gets blocked, recovered, open, Hildreth in the air, 3 is good.
Got to guard him for Carolina, and right now these two teams trying to get what I would consider an NCAA tournament type win.
Oh, that one does fall through. If only that happened for Brennan Rigsby about 45 minutes ago. And Aberdeen absorbed. Richard recovers the loose ball. And then a foul underneath before the meal.
Trying to say something?
Are you jumping? No, I'm just curious. Double digits here. Averages about 13 a game.
Outstanding defense that time by Will Richard.
We've seen a lot of that in this first half. Salas, though, gets free off the screen. Condon lost it momentarily. And they do whistle up in season a year ago. The sophomore from Kirk. They're happy to have him. Into Salas's hands. He has just 7 points in this first half on 2 of 6 shooting. That's through Abbas's hands. Florida on the move again. Clayton on the accelerator. Hands off to Aberdeen. The leaner got it.
That's good. That's really good. Downhill transition attack by the Florida Gators in about 3 or 4 seconds. You've got to get back in defensive transition.
From a tie game to a 6-0 Florida run, they've got the 6-point edge. Half a minute to go in the first. Salas fouled by Aberdeen.
Or overseas, or maybe not even going anywhere.
Sometimes those polls are a little misleading. Third, but this is the highest projection for Wake Forest since Chris Paul was running.
And now they're in looks like a 1-3-1 zone.
Clayton, Martin, Richard, those 3 guards out there along with Aberdeen, and then Condon, he's patrolling the middle. Shot clock off, 12 seconds to go.
Got to attack this quicker, though, because it's a zone. Florida's waiting too long.
Clayton to Martin to the corner, little low pass. Aberdeen recovers, 2 on the timer, misses it off to the left, and that's the half. So Aberdeen just couldn't get the right pass on target there. Times. High-level battle here between a couple of squads that are absolutely projected to be in the top half and upper echelon of their respective leagues. Elijah Martin just took that one away from Hildreth. Clayton, transition 3.
Bang, bang.
Wichita State, the championship tomorrow, and also would pick up a significant early season win. Would be another validating one for either squad. Florida has beaten Florida State. Wake Forest has beaten Michigan. Back-to-back for Clayton.
To figure out exactly how they can just get a little bit more on the offensive end. I think it remains the same for them. They've got to get stops here.
They've now got 9 offensive boards. So that one is now history. Okay, the safety, Elijah Martin.
Look out! At a high level, offensively, they have all the tools. They can make a deep run in March. Without question, they're going to be a tournament team.
Salas rises, a contested 15-footer. This is Trayvon Spillers.
Officials, listen, the officials let it go. There's no need for Elijah else if Devin Crosby had decided to respond.
Wow, Condon, some nice agility to get out of the way of that. Sit down. Aberdeen and Houck back in for the Gators. 13-point lead for Florida. They have certainly busted this one open a bit. First double-digit lead for either team today. Aberdeen into the paint, jump stop, gets fouled. Aberdeen is going to the free throw line.
Whoever they play, I mean, the first half against Baylor was one of the best halves I've seen all year long. And Alabama, who's had a target on their back that started out, you know, top 5 in the nation, only lost at Purdue, which is just about one of the toughest. Question is, will they guard for 40 minutes? And Wake Forest needs to put that to the test.
Salas is on the board in the second half. Florida went on that extended 32-8 run.
And Alex Condon and Howell, both of those guys can block shots at any time. There you go.
Finally, Hildreth gets one.
Yep. Well, he got it in his hand. He's going to live with that. Nice slip.
Yeah, Spillers with the flush.
Senior out of Charleston, South Carolina, helping Wake Forest claw their way back into this game.
Back-to-back buckets has it back to single digits. Martin off the screen. Martin gets downhill, and that he's appeared in with the Demon Deacs.
Part of your coaching job is to evaluate talent, recruit the talent.
Goes to Kentucky. So those were 2 key starters. Even despite that, high expectations for the Deacs. After the stop, they're trying to get it back to single digits here. Fredrickson is trailing, puts it up. Yeah, Fredrickson puts it in. Hildreth found him.
% of his shots last year were from behind the three-point line, so he's more than comfortable shooting that 3-ball.
He's trying to get going this season. The sophomore from Bixby, Oklahoma. Alexis goes over the left shoulder. Look at Houck with that long reach. Houck fouled by Reed. You know, David, maybe behind Cosby or Salas, that's going to help off the bench.
But both he and Salas made clutch free throws down the stretch to win that Michigan game.
Yeah.
Marcus Fredrickson only averaged 5 points in 18 minutes last year, but that's where the player development comes in. He has the potential.
Oh, another? Yeah, nice feed to Spillers. You know, Spillers does a fuss. A senior from Charleston, South Carolina, in his first season as a Deep. He's off to a really fine start, averaging nearly a double-double. Corner, Martin for 3. Salas wants to take the big man off the bounce. Killer crossover. Couldn't get it to go. Spillers follows. Trigger. Salas today, the lone Demon Deacon. in double figures with 11. Hildreth, that is a difficult shot. Look at this lead feed to Condon. He draws the foul. Condon got heavyweight combat. It's Alex Condon. He is just he's built polo. But then a half a foot growth spurt between sophomore in a lot of ways last 2 years. Underneath, Spillers couldn't get it to go. Rebound down to Chinyelu.
Yeah, it's funny. Chinyelu is the reason why they saw him, right? They were actually going to see Ruben and said, "Oh wow, Alex Condon's pretty good too."
Well, I think he roasted him a couple of possessions, evidently, as the story goes. Elijah Marquez, Wake Forest was shrinking the deficit. They're back down by double figures again. Another near turnover. Chinyelu picks it up. Martin, aggressive, head of steam, lays it up and in. Timeout, Wake. To win it all?
Win it all?
I'm going to go with the very easy choice. I'm going to just go with the undefeated top-ranked team. How about Oregon? I don't know. Who's got the easiest path? He's playing 3 games. Elijah Martin throws it up, and somehow it goes in. He is starting to ignite. Spillers, boy, he is really effective in this second half. It's back to a 13-point game. Elijah Martin, Damian, now has 16. Salas takes that one away and throws it down. On display, the Summit, Mississippi native has been a little bit of everywhere in this second half, making his presence felt. Fredrickson pokes it away. A couple of turnovers here forced by the Deeks. Salas got it to go.
Pretty basketball. Now, if you're Wake Forest, you got the Kansas, the Kentuckys, you know, the Dukes, the Kansas, the UConns, North Carolinas, but now players are going everywhere, and I think it's great for college basketball.
Clayton gets to the paint. Reed blocked the shot. He was fouled. So Walter Martin with 13 at
50. So it's, you know, they have improved. If they can get top 30, top 20, their offense is so good, they'll be able to compete and beat anyone.
They've held Wake Forest to 40% shooting today. Hildreth so active. Count it! And the foul.
Love it.
England. He gets recruited during that COVID year. Nick Paytasonova, one of my former players during my British basketball days, is looking for a place to play. That's how Hildreth winds up in Wake. 7-point game, 5 to go. Clayton gets bumped. Clayton puts it up and puts it in. Inside of 4 minutes now.
Alex Condon and Efton Reed battling in that paint area.
Will Richard trying to blow by Salas. High off the glass.
That misdirection was really good.
All 3 in double figures again. Hildreth bounces in, goes up with the right, falls off once more. Now there was a foul. Obviously the shot clock didn't reset. I think Bill Cup.
A testament to the commitment of not only the league, but the school.
Specifically from the Gators standpoint, it's second win against an ACC opponent. Spillers won the second half on a 10-0 run, and they have been in control and in command since, leading by double digits for the majority of this second half. And if that's on Efton Reed,
that's on.
Legends Classic title up in Brooklyn last week. It's got Delaware State at 9. You can also catch that on the app. 12-point lead again for Florida, looking to reach the title game tomorrow against Wichita State. And they might have just teed up Steve Forbes. They just teed him up again. He's ejected. So Byron Jarrett tees up Steve Forbes, and then he gave him another one after he continued working Jarrett.
We'll have to take a look and first of all, see what he's upset about. But it had to be something that he said.
Yeah, there was Jarrett. Jarrett 22. You've got Walter Clayton Jr. at the free throw. 15 here. He was understanding that he was about to get 4 free throws. I would assume he's going to essentially take over. You know, so they got the 4 technical free throws. And then Clayton got one because Florida was in the double bonus. Another one, I should say. That is a 6-point swing for Florida. So Clayton got 6 points at the line after he hit them all.
Get technical fouls that late in the game, and it helps determine Jay Mackey exactly what the issue was.
Forbes' assistant coaching staff. So from down 10 to down 16, thanks to the 4 technical free throws and then the 2 bonus free throws after that prior foul. 2:10 to go, and Florida is in position now to get to 7-0 and reach the title game of this event. Clayton leaves the 3 short. Condon just another offensive rebound. He is always in the right place. Alex Condon with 7. Clayton to the basket. He's got 21.
That's what I mean about the versatility. They're plus 14 on the glass, plus 8 on the offensive glass. So with their length, they can beat you to the glass. They can get out in transition.
It's another 20-point game for Walter Clayton Jr., his 3rd of the season. Efton Reed way off on the 3. 90 seconds to go now for Florida. They led by 4 at the break. Went on that 10-0 run right out of the gate to begin the second half. And Wake was just never able to fully recover. Got it back to a handful on one occasion, only to see Florida immediately respond, pull back in front by double digits. This is Houck for 3.
How's that for versatility? They have an ample amount of weapons that can hurt you.
Hildreth goes up. That one's down. So Damian, 4 different Gators in double figures. Led by this man, Walter Clayton Jr. with 21.
Sure. And the score won't be indicative of how close this game was. Yes, the Florida Gators dominated the entire second half, but Wake Forest was close. They just couldn't quite get over the hump.
Wow, now they're just trying to pile it on with 25 seconds to go. Martin's 3 is offline. And so we know our championship bout tomorrow. It will be Florida and Wichita State in the title game. The entire Florida staff says, hey, just dribble it out. The Gators will get to 7-0. Another win against a power conference opponent. It plays Wichita State tomorrow.
That's going to be an incredible matchup as well. Todd Golden, Paul Mills, both still building their program from the ground up. But today, it's the Florida Gators and their trifecta in the backcourt.